What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Omaha Eppley Airfield for the 8th airport update for the month of January 2025. We are back after a month-long hiatus at this airport. Took it off for December mainly because I didn't have a space in the schedule to do it on a normal day. And I also, since I didn't have the permanent setup back just yet, so I decided to take December off for Omaha. But we are back in action, and quite a bit of changes with the diorama once again. I did cover that a bit in the November update with regards to the new layout for the gates to accommodate the construction for the new terminal that they're building. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started at Gate Alpha 1, relocated. Of course, we've got one of the extended jet bridges here. In this Delta connection number 175 came in from LaGuardia as flight 3726. This is a SkyWest operated flight, and this arrived in at 9:13 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:15 p.m. arrival. Skip over A2 today, and we'll head right down to A3 for this Delta A320. And this tripod's a little finicky with me still, but there we go. This Delta A320 came in from Atlanta as flight 2495 at 11:47 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 11:57 p.m. arrival. And then again, another gate that we skip, A4 today, and we'll head right over to A5 with the aircraft in question just beginning to pull in. This Delta connection CRJ 900 came in from Detroit as flight 3715, and this is another SkyWest operated flight at 10:30 p.m. delayed from a 9:19 p.m. scheduled arrival. So we've got a delay of an hour and about 11 minutes. And then moving up, we move into our American section. We got gaps in between each of the American planes, one Allegiant and Alaska. So Allegiant's at A7 today. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But this CRJ 900 came in from Charlotte as flight 5377, operated by PSA, and this arrived in at 5:20 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 5:41 p.m. arrival. And then there's our Allegiant aircraft today. So taking A7 since A1, the normal place for it, is currently in use right now. And then also for this diorama, I got the Delta connection 175 there. But this Allegiant A320, this came in from Phoenix Mesa as flight 2310 at 10:32 a.m. ahead of a scheduled 10:48 a.m. arrival. And as for Phoenix Mesa, I always like to talk about the Allegiant services since they operate kind of irregularly, if you will. But this is a twice weekly service as it will remain, operating on Sundays and Thursdays through the foreseeable future. And then moving up, we've got another American aircraft, CRJ 700 today at A8 for this update. This ride-in is flight 6207, another SkyWest operated flight from Chicago O'Hare. Not sure why the flight number is so high, but that's not my biggest concern with this, as we have a significantly delayed flight. So this is supposed to arrive in on a Thursday at 10:19 p.m., but evidently the flight got significantly delayed to the point where they just delayed it to the next morning. They didn't cancel the flight or anything, so they just moved it to, I don't know, it would be like a 7 a.m. departure or something like that, 8 a.m., something like that. So this arrived at 9:39 a.m. the next morning, and that is a delay of about 11 hours. So I feel bad for the passengers that were on this flight, and if you're watching this video and you found yourself on that flight, please let me know how the experience went, because I'm sure it was horrible. Yeah, I don't really like it when the airlines, they just delay the flights to the next morning instead of just straight up canceling it, because I think it's just better if the passengers get compensation for a hotel night with the flight being canceled, because I'm guessing if they delay it, they can't really do that. But I think the regulations have changed now, so now if a flight gets delayed like X amount of hours or whatever, then airlines are required to provide compensation to those passengers. But that's a discussion for another time. We've got more aircraft to take a look at as we look at this Alaska 737-800, the regular Seattle service today as flight 312. This arrived in at 2:12 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:37 p.m. arrival. Not seeing too many changes here with just the normal 737 next generation aircraft, with an occasional swap to a MAX 9 if they have an aircraft available. Hopefully they'll send the MAX 8 here, but I know that they intend to use those on more of the longer flights, like, you know, New York to Anchorage or something like that. I've seen them fly a couple different routes already. I just recently picked up that from Gemini Jets, so happy to have that, and hopefully I can find a regular delivery MAX 9, so if Gemini wants to release another one, or if NG, knowing that their release choices, they improved this recent set, hopefully they do one as well. And then our last aircraft at the A gates for today, this American A319 LUS aircraft came in from Miami as flight 2827 And this ride in at 9:58 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 10:32 p.m. arrival. It's nice to see our Miami main line continuing through the remainder of the very cold winter period. The day I'm recording this, it's actually well below zero, so that's no shocker there, at least for the winter time here. So that's all the aircraft that we have at the A gates. I'll just focus on the Alaska because why not? And now move on over to the B gates, a good variety of United and Southwest aircraft occupying those gates. And while I make my way over, I actually want to show you just another part of the construction for the new terminal here. So now we've got B19 and B20 that have been moved up to here. So not just along this line, and I'll pop up a new aerial shot that I found on the Omaha Airport's Instagram page, and I'll pull it up on my iPad here so I can talk about what's going on. So this is a really nice aerial shot which shows the current progress of the construction. So again, you can see the different gates that have moved around, and they have like these giant bridges that extend from the existing terminal to where the new location for the aprons are. And how I have it set up is not 100% accurate to how it is IRL, just because I don't have like the super long jet bridge extension things, whatever they're called. But it does look like that on the A side, they've got part of the structure built, and then they're working on, they're like, I'd say about 40-50% done with at least like the scaffolding and the just the shell of the structure, if you will. So they're making some great progress on that, and excited to see the progress continue. And I'll try to get the diorama updated as well when I got some extra free time here, but I'm still running busy with school starting back up and everything. So we'll find a good time here in the next month or two, hopefully, to get the diorama updated to accurately reflect where everything is at currently with the current construction. But that's where we're at with that, and just, you know, really excited to see how that all unfolds as we move forward, and hopefully I can return to Omaha to get a plane spotting session in, since I haven't been there in what will be 8 years in just a couple months. So long time since I've been over there, and we'll hopefully get to go back there soon if everything comes together. What did come together for this update is a nice lineup of Evo Blue aircraft. That's all we've got in this update, including the regional aircraft just at the top right there. You just saw it. But we'll start off at B12, since B11, that gate is closed off right now with the construction. So we move to B12 with this United 737 MAX 9 wearing the Evo colors. Thanks Gemini Jets for releasing this, and I know NG did it as well, so I'll acknowledge them too. This aircraft arrived in from Houston as flight 1216 at 10:17 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 10:22 p.m. arrival. We move to the Mile High City now for this MAX 8 Evo, which came in from Denver as flight 1787. All the MAX 8s with the Evo livery, of course, since they were delivered after the new livery went into effect. This arrived in at 11:59 p.m., delayed from an 11:38 p.m. scheduled arrival, delayed by 21 minutes. And then moving up over here, so swing the camera around the corner there of the building. We've got a 739 Evo as well, and this also came in from Denver, flying the mid-afternoonish flight. This is flight 2327, arriving in at 3:46 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 4:11 p.m. arrival. And then our last United aircraft here, not a main line, just a number 175, sitting at B15. And this came in from San Francisco as flight 5682, another SkyWest operated flight. And this arrived in at 9:50 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:52 p.m. arrival. One of the unique services for the Midwest, since you don't see a lot of flights from San Francisco to the Midwest unless you're in Minneapolis or something. So yeah, Omaha, one of the only cities in the region outside of the big hubs in MSP and Chicago to get this Bay City service. And now move on over to the Southwest aircraft. We got one of each type that I have in my collection. I wish I still had my 700 splits, but I broke it, so I'm still waiting for someone to release it with more accurate colors, because the latest NG one that they did, that didn't have the best colors. So I'm waiting to see if maybe Gemini will pull a rabbit out of their hat and do it. I mean, they've done some great releases recently, so it would give me a little bit of confidence that they would do something like that. But at any rate, we'll hang on to these three aircraft types, and they certainly are sufficient for our airport update today for all intents and purposes. So we start off with the 738, which came in from Phoenix Sky Harbor as flight 3672 at 9:34 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:50 p.m. arrival. And then we have a second Phoenix flight as well, this smaller 737-700. It's going to be weird that Southwest is getting ready to be in the 800s in the next, like, 5-6 years. It's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. But we'll keep using them for all that we can. Another Sky Harbor flight, as I mentioned, this is flight 2256, and this arrived in a little earlier in the evening at 6:55 p.m. at a scheduled 7:05 p.m. arrival. And then our last aircraft, the 737 MAX 8 today, from Nashville, is flight 2883, and this arrived in at 11:39 a.m. at a scheduled 11:55 a.m. arrival. So there it is, Omaha Eppley Airfield number 8, the 8th airport update for the series. Always fun to watch the construction continuing with the new terminal project that they've got going on, and I'll be eager to continue following any new developments that come along the way as well. With that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.